Hello and welcome to the TryLine podcast. I'm your host, Bo. This is my co-host, the people's host, Daniel. How you going, mate?
Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, man. You had the week off, so plenty of footy.
Yeah, I watched all the games. Watched all the games. It was good. Good to have a week off.
Yeah, I got to watch all the games too. I've been in isolation. They made me go get a test because I had a runny nose, and I haven't got them back. 120 hours I've been waiting, so that's a bit rough. 120 hours as of right now. So hopefully we get them back soon and can roll into work next week. But anyway, the giveaway didn't go off this weekend because neither the Eels or the Cowboys won, so it'll roll on. So if you want to be involved in that, don't forget to leave a comment on this video, and the giveaway is an NRL jersey of your choice. So leave a comment on the video, leave a like too. It all helps. And what are we going to talk about today, mate?
So we've got some pretty big news actually to start off the episode. So RTS, he's actually decided to end his NRL career early. The New Zealand government is set to put the travel bubble between New Zealand and Australia on hold for maybe 8 weeks, up to 8 weeks,
Yeah,
with all this COVID stuff going on. So I'll rattle off a couple of his accolades, achievements, whatever you want to call them. So he was the 2018 Dahlia medalist, 2019 Golden Boot. That's the top international player, or rugby league player anyway. He won a comp with the Roosters back in 2013. And so he's pretty much just done it all. He's been one
yeah,
of the top fullbacks since he started playing fullback. So
yeah, absolute gun. I just want to say it was a pleasure to watch him play. Like, I think, yeah, he's done it all, right? He's won comps, he's won Daily M, but I think what he'll most be remembered for is being the captain of this Warriors side. I think,
mm,
especially last year, I think we both sat here week after week and marvelled at the way he carried himself throughout the year. Um, I know a lot of players went home, which was within their right. That it's pretty tough to stay out here, especially to be away from your families. But they lost their coach early, which the team actually likened that to losing like a father figure. So I thought he was outstanding. He led that team with his energy, actions, effort every single week. It was really, really good to see. So I'll personally miss him, but I wish him all the best. Hopefully, he achieves what he wants to in rugby union.
yeah, me too. So good on him. I hope he comes back one day, like even as just like a coach or something. It'd be good to see
Yeah,
him back in rugby league. But anyway,
I think there's a chance he might come back after the World Cup, but just for now, it seems like it's all over.
yeah. Anyway, we're going to get into some Olympic news actually. So over the first few days, we've got the medal count. So the top five, we got China on 13 medals, USA on 12, Japan on six, but Australia's also on six. Japan just has a few more gold medals. So
Okay.
Australia's got two gold, one silver, and three bronze. And in fifth spot, we've got Korea with five medals.
Mate, we went all right today too. That Ariane Titmus had a great swim in the 400 freestyle. She ended up winning gold, which was a really, really solid swim. Ledecky is a really good swimmer, especially in that discipline. So good on her. That was really good to see. Emma McKeon took bronze in the 100-meter butterfly, and the men took the bronze in the 4x100-meter freestyle relay, which we looked gone in that. Kyle Chalmers kind of dragged out ourselves back into medal contention. We almost won silver too, so that was really good to see too. Um, Elsewhere for the Aussies, Sally Fitzgibbon won her round three heat in the surfing. I watched that. I got no idea what's going on. Do you know?
I think it's the tricks you do, like the crispness, like how well you do them. I don't
I was
actually, I
watching.
don't actually know.
Well, I was watching the skateboarding the other day, and they were doing things that I was sitting there going, "This is nuts." And then the commentators going, "Oh well, he didn't really get all of that." I'm like, what are you watching? That was crazy. There's like for a guy that can't ride a skateboard, they're doing some crazy stuff. I guess
Mm.
the surfing's pretty similar. You've surfed?
I used to back
How
in the
hard is
day.
it?
It's actually hard. I barely got to standing up, mate.
How much was your board that you bought that you used once?
It was $600. Well, we won't get into that.
You could have been in Olympics, mate. That was what 5 years ago.
It was
You could be looking at a gold medal right now.
I could be.
It could have been the people's gold medal.
Well, it would be my gold medal. The people could have it for a day. They could lend it. They could lend.
Also the Boomers won last night, and they're looking pretty good because America went down in the NBA in their first round matchup. We got the win. We've come fourth in the last four Olympics, so hopefully we can just get a medal. I've got a feeling we're getting gold.
Get over that hump, do you reckon?
Just get into a medal, get into that gold medal match, and
Yeah.
we're a chance. Also, the Roos pushed Spain. They end up going down 1-0. But I think if they beat Egypt, they only have to win that game and they go through, which would be a huge result for them. They were no chance to beat Argentina. We got the job done there. I think we're paying $9 to beat Argentina. We were really long odds to beat Spain as well. And we only went down 1-0. So if we can get the win over Egypt, we do go through to the next round, which would just be a massive result for them.
Yeah, and I think I skipped over something earlier. We actually got a world record in the
No,
women's 4x400 meter freestyle. So
we dominate that event too. They were nowhere near us.
yeah, you don't say that often. World
Yeah,
record.
which is really good. We dominate that event pretty much every Olympics. I think we've won the last 3 or 4 golds in that race, which is really good. Anyway, talk about a race. There was a race to sign Dale Finucane, and the Sharks won it.
Yeah, so Dale Finucane is set to leave Melbourne and join Cronulla Sharks on a 4-year deal worth over $2 million. So it was
Good on
reported.
him for going and getting his money.
Yeah, nice. So I think it was like 650 per year.
That is way unders what I thought he'd collect on the open market. Great signing for the Sharks. I know a lot of people weren't interested at the 4-year mark, and that's what he was kind of looking for. That kind of left Melbourne out of the conversation. I know a lot of places weren't offering him 4 years. I think the Tigers come in at the 11th hour and try to match it, but only for a 2-year deal and then a year in their favour, which I thought is disrespectful, to be honest. They talk about a club that can't pick and choose what they're getting at the moment. I just want to go through what the Sharks have done. Now, I know they sacked their coach. We're very critical of them sacking their coach early. Since they've, not only since they brought in Craig Fitzgibbon, but this is what they're trying to do going forward. They've re-signed Will Kennedy, Matt Moylan, Toby Rudolph, Talakai, Connor Tracy, and Braden Trindle. They've re-signed all of them. They've also brought in Dale Finucane, Nico Hines, Cam McInnes. They wish they brought in Cam Munster. And they've let go of Sean Johnson and Chad Townsend at this time. You would like to think Josh Dugan probably gets added to that list. I think they released a list of 5 names, but the official losses so far is Sean Johnson and Chad Townsend.
I thought
that's really good signs for the Sharks.
I'm pretty sure earlier in the year they said they weren't going to re-sign Josh Dugan or Aaron Woods.
I think there was 5 names. Aaron Woods is definitely not getting re-signed. Well, Josh Dugan won't be either. That's just the 2 that have officially been signed somewhere else. So,
okay.
Well, whether they probably won't be signed by anyone else. Oh, Aaron Woods might get a contract. I don't think Josh Dugan will get a contract anywhere else. But really good signs for the Sharks, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I heard there was talks about Parramatta going after Aaron Woods.
I don't
know.
I don't know.
That's not the way to go.
Yeah. What about there's some whispers around that the Sharks are looking at Luke Brooks.
Disgusting.
That's a bit. I don't know about. I think Luke Brooks is okay, but I don't know about partnering him with Nico Hines. Well, don't know about that. I think Nico Hines is going to need a very steady head inside him if he's going to come in and play 6.
Well, what I don't understand, they've re-signed 3 6s, or they've signed 3 6s. So they had Braden Trindle, Matt Moylan, and Nico Hines.
Yeah, well, so the Sharks re-sign 3 6s, and we go sign 3 7s. So the Cowboys sign 3 7s. Maybe we're looking to merge rosters. Yeah, it's going to be the North Queensland Sharks, baby. They'll go all the way.
They'll
come last. Will go all the way.
They'll actually come last. One of the few teams. One of the few teams. If you join them together, they get worse.
Let's get into the game.
So first game, we got the Raiders. They defeat the Eels 12-10. Disappointed in the Eels in this one. I thought the Raiders forward pack came out again and really put the Eels pack to it. I think they just dominated. Really worked really hard in defense. Looked good.
I always hate an upset in the first game, especially when you put your tips in and the first game's an upset, and then the whole weekend you're like, oh, okay, well, this is how it's going to be. I will say for the Raiders, the first 3 tackles, their kick chase in the first 3 tackles was just crazy. I thought their intensity in defense was outstanding. They were hunting as a pack, which was just really good to see. A point that they probably won't love is the first time they slacked off on that a little bit. Blake Ferguson busted them and went the length and they scored.
Yeah.
Which was probably not a good sign. I thought when that happened that they would fade away. Credit to them. They hung in there and still end up getting the win. 2 big talking points out of this game. Obviously, we'll look at the first one. Dylan Brown's Was he offside off the kick chase? Do you think?
Yeah, he's
I agree.
and that should have been the
And
vote try.
even if you're of the opinion that he was passive as a kick chaser, I thought one, he was inside the 10 meters, so that already rules him out. Two, the Canberra defense ran into him, so then it already has obstructed the play.
Mm.
So that's a no try for me. And the other one was the Jordan Rapana moment at the end. What do you think about that?
Should have been a penalty. But I told you this the other day. I thought it was a square up. So
Mm,
the first one shouldn't have been a try, but that second one, at least a penalty, because it's like he's going in there. He's led with his knees. He hasn't made an attempt to tackle. That's a penalty. Like,
that's where I'm at. No attempt to tackle. I didn't think it was a penalty try. And anyway, Sevo probably should have scored. What's he doing? He's still a
hmm.
mile off the ground.
Yeah. I sent you a message. He's like a meter out from the try line, and he's still upright. Like you got to be down, like almost at the
Right.
ground to
There's a
get it out.
freeze frame where no one's in front of him. Like they've Jordan Rapana and the other defenders gone past him,
Mm.
and he still he just why is he so high? That's what I didn't understand. No attempt to make a tackle for mine from Jordan Rapana, so that's a penalty. Nothing against Jordan Rapana. I think that's what you want from your fullback. You want him trying to do anything to save the game. So the fact that he gets over there, throws his body at him, I don't really see a problem with it. Should have been a penalty. Not the reason the Eels lost the game though. I thought the Raiders were the better side.
Yeah, me too. It
Yep.
is what it is. On to next week.
On
Pardon
to
me.
next week.
Anyway, we got.
I had a point too. The 1 week we don't say it's a danger game for Parramatta, they end up getting knocked off.
Mate, I've told you before, they're all danger games.
Yeah.
They're all danger games. Anyway, on to the Roosters beating the Knights 28 points to 8. Knights came out early, leading 8-0. Then I don't know what happened.
I
Half
thought
half
the
an hour.
Roosters were clearly the better side.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a bit back and forth through that first period.
No, mate. And the story of this one, only for the Roosters, was their injuries. I thought even when the Knights went over, I didn't think the Knights were dominating the game.
Mm.
I thought the Roosters were still. I thought they looked the better side. I thought their attack was crisper. I thought everything about them was just better than the Knights. I think the Knights got a little bit of a roll on the back of a 7 tackle set, and then they got a 6 again, and they went over, and they looked good early. But I thought the Roosters were clearly the better side in this. I think Kalen's looked fit injury wise for 2 games this season for the Knights, and that's really really hurting them.
Mm. And
He looked down at he looked injured again this week.
they're still missing Pierce, and that Pierce Ponga connection is kind of the Knights really kind of feed off that.
It's hard to get a read on the Knights. They've got a good draw going home. I've picked them to just sneak into the 8, but they're going to want to start picking up some wins soon.
Yeah, well, I think we said at the beginning of the year the Raiders, and I think they're sitting in ninth spot at the moment, ninth
Yeah.
or 10th, something like that. So
Yeah, well, I just wrote the Raiders off, and then they had their best win of the year, so I'm struggling over here.
yeah, me too. Well, yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, you're struggling. You wrote Manly off after round 3.
well,
You said Manly.
I thought they were.
You said Manly were gone.
Oh,
You and I think I remember exactly what you said. You said not even Tommy can fix this. That's what
I
you
did
said.
say that. I did say that.
Oh, now they're a chance to win the comp.
Oh, I've set the make the grand final now. Anyway,
All right.
Storm defeated Cowboys 20 points to 16. Now, how about this? Now,
I
out of
know.
all the teams in the comp, all the teams that the Storm have versed over the past few weeks, the Cowboys are the team to score against them in the first half. Break the drought.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Couldn't believe what I was watching. Cowboys played Jake Granville at fullback. We found out I found out right before kickoff that he actually played fullback in the Q Cup and was pretty decent back there.
Mm.
Now, a lot of people wanted to point that out. Someone actually went on to say he was the best option, which just blew me mind. It's all right to know what Jake Granville's done, and I thought he played really well, but he hasn't played fullback in 9 years. So to say it wasn't a shock that he was picked at fullback, it definitely was a shock.
Mm.
I've not seen anyone come out in the last 9 years and say, who would be a good option at fullback this week? Jake Granville. But people like to think that they're the smartest person in the room a lot. So as soon as, because I put up something saying that's an absolute shock to me. Good on. I hope he goes well. But people are like, how is it a shock? He played in the Q Cup. It was dead set 9 years ago.
Long
It
time.
was 9 years ago. Like Ben Barber was the best player in the competition at the time. I would be shocked if Ben Barber walked in and played fullback this week.
Yeah.
And he's a natural fullback. So to say it wasn't a shock is a pretty big reach. To say he was the best for the position at the time, he had Scott Drinkwater and Dijon Assey in the side as well. So I don't know if he was the best option as well. Did he play well? I thought he did. I thought he looked crisp back there.
He did.
Big effort for him to play 80 after not playing 80 all year. So good on him. Well, I don't know if they'll pick him again this week. I don't know. How long's the hammer out for? Do you know?
The rest of the season, they reckon.
Oh, so he's gone for the year. So they're going to have to come up with something this week. I thought the Cowboys were really good. I thought that early, I thought the Storm pushed the pass early. I thought the Storm probably could have been up by 20. Like they were breaking them open everywhere. But then when they kept pushing the pass and the Cowboys kept getting into the game, then the Cowboys grew in confidence and they looked good for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I thought.
I thought there was, Josh Drinkwater, Scott Drinkwater.
You've got me calling him Josh Drinkwater.
I don't know why.
It's blown me mind.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, Scott. Josh. His name's Josh now. I thought there was a big turning point for them in the second half when he kicked it straight into Jerome Hughes's hands. It's like you got to find the grass there and build some pressure. Like they were in the Storm's 10 meters, and he kicks that to Jerome Hughes, and he runs 50 meters down the field. And I think they kind of lose all momentum from there. They have to try and earn that momentum back. So I think that's where
good point.
Yeah, I think they could have won that game.
I thought Dearden wasn't great. I thought I don't know. They do have to work on their kicking game as well. Anyway, what did you make of the 2 no tries? Brandon's it wasn't Brandon Smith.
Just
Who did he pass the ball to? Olam's no try and
Kane Bradley's
no try.
They're both tries. Like I don't understand they were awarded. No one was impeded. It's just that they so happened to run behind the player. And we've said this before. Well, you have said this before anyway. It happens 1,000 times a game.
Happens 1,000 times a game.
Never gets called. So
now let's be very clear because I can already imagine what people are going to say. Is it an obstruction? Yes, we know it's an obstruction if you run behind your own player. Okay, we know that. We know the rules. Okay, but let's have a think about it. Did anyone get impeded in the defensive line? No. Secondly, if the referee doesn't call for the bunker, if the bunker doesn't go, oh, look, I've seen something here, does anyone even know?
No.
Does anyone even talk about it today?
No.
That's why it's a try.
Well, you saw both the teams when they scored. They were like, well, they scored.
That's it.
Like, yeah.
That's it. Both of them were tries.
No one complained.
The bunker is there for a backup, for a backup for the referee. If the referee misses something, the bunker goes, oh, look, he's dropped that. You know what I mean? The bunker shouldn't be inserting itself where it's not needed. It was minute. It didn't have an effect on the defense. And they don't inject themselves every single other play in the game when it happens all the time that they run behind their own players. And no one calls it because no one cares. Or they run behind their own players and they just surrender and no one calls it. Well, just leave it alone. Let's be honest. We know what an obstruction is. Why was the rule brought in? So then someone can't run in front of you and just tackle the guy in front of you and you run through. That's what an obstruction was brought in for. And a shepherd.
Yeah.
So let's be real.
Yeah. So both tries.
I don't think it lost the Cowboys the game either. I thought the Storm ended up being the better side. So
yeah, well, it'd be 26-22 anyway if you count both those tries and they convert them both.
And the forward pass at the end was a shocker from the Cowboys.
That 2 meters forward.
I know, and the worst thing about that was they called a forward pass in the Roosters game for their first try for Daniel Tupou, which they would have been up 6-0. And that wasn't forward, and the referee called that. Not even the touch, he called that, and then they let this one go. So no consistency there.
Oh well. Anyway, on to the next. Bunnies defeat the Warriors 60 points to 22. Cody Walker had a great game, I thought. Latrell Mitchell played well. Even though the Warriors were missing a few key players like RTS, Toe Harris, Wade Egan, 60 points just isn't good enough. Like there's a lot of soft tries there up the middle. I thought Reece Walsh in defence on the line especially was a big liability. The Bunnies
target, I think.
Yeah, the Bunnies targeted him. Going forward, I will expect every single team when they're attacking the Warriors line to run straight at Reece Walsh because he was he was a liability there.
I think the Rabbitohs are such a dangerous team when they when they just get on a roll.
Mm.
They're so hard to stop. Even Latrell just lined up one off the ruck 10 meters out and just ran the ball straight and barged over.
Yeah.
Now, should that be happening at NRL level? Probably not. But Latrell's Latrell's a dangerous man.
It's a trail.
7 wins in a row for the Rabbitohs. They were never in danger in this one. I think the Warriors look tired. They need to get home. Like, it's been a long 2 years for them.
Mm.
I don't think they went home for that long in the first place before they come back. They've been locked down all year. They've been in lockdown for 2 years. Now their captain's going home. They look tired. They're probably waiting for the season to end. I can't be too critical of the Warriors. Like, they've been through a lot in the last 2 years, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah.
Do you still see the Rabbitohs as a threat in the competition? I think they're definitely going to finish in top 4 easily. They're only 1 win behind the Storm and the Panthers, which if they had have dropped both those games, it would have been a 3-way tie for first coming out of this weekend. So they're obviously still getting the wins on the board. Can they do it against the top sides? That'll be the interesting point there.
Yeah, look, I think if they versed either of those other teams this week, they would have won. But
Yeah,
like when the Storm and Panthers are healthy and I don't think anyone can beat them.
but can Wayne Bennett beat Ivan Cleary? That's where you got to think. He's got a good track record of getting teams going at the right time of the year. You get Wayne Bennett in a prelim final. The Panthers had him last year, and the Panthers were a lot better side than the Rabbitohs were last year, and they only done them by 4 points. So I don't know.
I think it would be. I don't think they'll be beating Storm. I think it would be a lot closer with the Panthers, but I still think the
Be
Panthers.
interesting to see. But they've won 7 in a row. They're sitting solidly in third, just 1 win behind the top sides there.
Yeah, good on them. I don't
Yeah,
think they'll be beating them too though. Anyway, Manly defeat the Tigers 44-24. DCE, Turbo both had great games after having a week off.
yeah,
We actually saw a lot of the players that had a week off after Origin come out this week and have great games, like Teddy, Angus Crichton. You got DCE and Turbo, obviously. The Tigers were in this one early, like first
yeah.
20 or so minutes, and then Manly just too strong at the end.
I thought Des is doing such a great job of managing his roster out there at Manly at the moment.
100%.
Yeah, again, similar to the Roosters game, I felt like Manly were never in danger of losing this game.
Mm.
Like every time the Tigers kind of got back into the game, Manly would go up a gear and go down the other end and score, and then they would kind of like fall off again. In my head, I was thinking that they're not worrying about the Tigers in July. You know what I mean? They're worrying about the Panthers in September.
Yeah.
That's the way I got a feel of the game. I thought they were just doing enough to get through it. They probably won't like leaking 24 points, but I still think it was a solid win for Manly. They get one step closer to the top 4. Turbo gets through unscathed, which is pretty much all you want. Schuster played well. I thought Kieran Foran's having a resurgence. I think he's having a great year.
Mm.
He just seems like he's playing with a lot of energy again, which we haven't seen from him for a long time. The Tigers, you see glimpses of it through the 80 minutes, but they can't put it together, can they?
They can't. Well, they change their forward pack every 2 weeks. Like the rotations there, what positions they're playing. Like Joe Fingali, I'm pretty sure he's played prop locking in the back row, and now he's on the bench.
He might come out in fullback.
Yeah, so I think they need to find some consistency in the forward pack. Just stop mixing it up. Just stick with and Dewey as well. He's gone from 6 to centre, back to 6 now. And I think they just got to find a combination and roll with it through,
But
through the
you
thick
see
and thin.
glimpses from Jacob Little, Stefano,
Oh,
Dewey. You see glimpses of brilliance, you know what I mean? And you start to think, like, this team's ready to just do something here.
yeah.
And then they drop a ball, they give away a penalty, they play the ball. Like, they just can't put it together. And that's why I looked at their run home. It's not even bad, but I can't pick them to make the 8 because I can't see them being consistent enough to beat almost anyone.
What's the bet? They come 9th.
Well, I've done my ladder predictor, and I had them coming 9th. So,
Hey,
but then it depends on the Dragons too. The Dragons might run 9th.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I was actually going to say, Jacob Little out of dummy half those scoots. He's quick. I did not realise how quick he was. He just sped off, man.
That's what I mean. And Dane Laurie, he's a gun. You look at their team, and they got enough pieces there to be competitive now.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So why isn't it happening?
because of Brooksy, Luke Brooks.
Even he looked okay in patches on the weekend. When he runs the ball, he looks good. He ran the ball, broke the line, and then give it to I think
Garner.
Dewey on the inside. They end up going over.
He set up their first one of their first tries, didn't he? When he
Yeah, and I
almost
actually
straight up.
tweeted straight away. I said, "Geez, it's a good sign to see Luke Brooks run the ball."
Yeah,
And then he went away for the rest of the half. Wasn't interested. And then they got no cohesion on the left edge. Like I think the ball went to ground 3 or 4 times going left. I just don't know.
yeah.
Don't know with that side.
Well, I think that was the rookie center.
I feel passionate. I always talk about the Tigers, and I feel passionate about the Tigers because I look up and down their roster, and they look like a team that's ready to go,
Mm,
but they're not going. So I don't understand what's going on.
me neither. Oh well.
Yep.
Anyway, on to the next. Panthers defeat the Broncos 18-12. Yeah, this was a close game, and Broncos
Yeah.
were looking like they were coming back. But one person in particular, Payne Haas, I'd like to talk about.
Payne Haas.
Now, he made over 40 tackles. I don't think he missed any. Ran somewhere near or maybe even over 200 meters. I
It was over.
don't know the exact stats, but he does
214, I think, something like
214.
that.
Well, he does this every single week
I know.
as a front rower, playing like he can play 80. I think he played 72 minutes on the weekend, but he was taken off, and then Panthers seemed to kind of get on a roll there. And you bring him back on, and he instant impact.
No, it was what I didn't like, right? They were coming to get him at the end. You could see the Broncos were finishing stronger. He was taken off in the 70th minute, brought on in the 78th minute, brought back on in the 78th minute. What do you make of that?
I think you leave him on
Why are you taking him off and bringing him on with 2 to go
for an 8-minute rest.
at the end of the game?
Mm.
Like I don't. If you want to, I guess bring him off at the 60th minute, bring him on for the last 10. You know, if you want to, but
Yeah.
I don't, that didn't make any sense to me. 60. It was credited as 65 missed tackles at the end of the game. That's been upgraded to 69.
Oof.
69 missed tackles for the Penrith Panthers. That's danger signs. That is huge, huge red flags for them. That's really bad.
Yeah. Well, I think if the Panthers they face a better team attacking wise, I think they lose that game.
Oh, they get smashed.
Yeah.
I think they get smashed. Oh, they're really poor. Bigger red flags for me in this game for the Panthers than in the Storms close win to the Cowboys and in the Eels loss to the Raiders. I think there's bigger red flags in this game than either of those. Well, the Panthers were really poor. In saying that, it was possibly the worst game they played in 2 years, and they still got the win. So I guess that's a positive there. Good for the Broncos. I did say I hope this is a sign of things to come for the Broncos. Then someone did point out that they do this a lot. They done this earlier with they played the Panthers earlier in the year. I think they only lost by 8 points, and people thought, hey, they're gonna kick on here, and then they got flogged by Parramatta the next week. So
Okay.
we'll have to see how they go next week.
Yeah. Right. Actually, there was a question a few weeks ago, maybe last week or the week before, and I think we had a disagreement on this. It was, would Luai be one of the top 5'8" without
Yeah,
Cleary? And I was like, well, yeah, obviously, because he's, of his natural
he's
talent.
still good. Yeah,
Like, but I think on the weekend, I think it really showed how much he needs Cleary. His kicking game was
100%.
woeful. I think he can't, as you said before, he plays off his cuff, and Cleary kind of directs that team around. And you could see with a less dominant half that he wasn't really able to do what he wanted to do. And when he was doing what he wanted or what he was doing, it wasn't really
Yeah.
like you couldn't really. Yeah, you get what I mean.
No, I 100% know what you mean because he doesn't have to worry about anything really.
Yeah,
He's a little bit freed up,
yeah,
and like we're not going to really see. This is only guessing, but I guarantee Cleary is the game plan. Like him and Ivan and their spine get together, and Cleary executes that game plan every single week for that side, and it frees everyone up on the team. Isaiah Yeo going down early really hurt him.
Oh yeah.
But again, they're just not the same side without Cleary,
Yeah.
and they really need him back. If they got Melbourne this week, I wouldn't rush him back for that game. I would leave him. It's not really going to hurt him dropping another game, to be honest. leave Cleary out, let him rest, and then, like I said with Manly, don't worry about winning a game in July. Worry about winning a game in September.
Yeah,
They're going to be in the top 4. Just wait.
yeah, for sure. What do you make of that head high from Flegler? 10 in the bin sufficient?
Pre crackdown, yeah. Post crackdown, it needed to be sent off for mine.
Yeah,
How can that be the same as all the other sin bins this weekend? Like, what was it? Luke Thompson's one.
yeah.
I think he got 2 weeks for that.
No way.
Yeah, so he would have carryover points, but see, that wasn't as bad as the Flegler one, but they got the same punishment, so that makes no sense to me. I think he should have been sent off.
That's fair. Well, Panthers lose a player for the rest of the game. Just makes sense that Broncos should
Did you
stop.
think penalty try?
I don't think penalty try. I think it was either a send off or penalty try, but I'd prefer the send off.
Yeah, I would have liked the send off too.
But you know what?
Great effort from the Broncos. I think one thing in this game though, Brodie Croft needs to find a way to get Stags 1-on-1.
Mm,
If he can't prove that he can do that soon, like he's not going to be in that makeup.
no.
Because that's your gun. And they had many opportunities. They just need to get him 1-on-1 with his opposing center, and he'll carve him up. He's that strong, and they just couldn't. They couldn't find a way to get him the ball.
Oh, hopefully they can
Yeah.
they can figure that out. Anyway, Titans defeat the Dragons 32 points to 10. Another lackluster game from the Dragons. Matt Duffy, woeful again. He shouldn't be playing first grade anymore. They should give the rest of the season to Sloan, to Tyrell
Yeah.
Sloan. He's way
Yeah.
better. Get
Sloan
Duffy,
for mine
yeah,
too.
get Duffy out of there, man. I remember he passed the ball into touch and then had to dig at his winger.
Mm.
He can't be like he's crap, man. Stop.
What'd you make of the selection of what's his name, Cody Ramsey in the centers?
Well, I think David Feeder showed why he shouldn't be playing in the centres. He shouldn't be playing at all. David Feeder came off the bench, ran at Cody Ramsey, constantly, brushed him off every single time,
Yeah.
scored a try, set one up down that right edge.
To be honest, you couldn't really expect Cody Ramsey to do much anyway. What's he going to do? How's he going to tackle David Feeder 1-on-1? You're
I
not.
could do a better job than Cody Ramsey.
No, you could. No, I'm saying a normal person.
Oh,
Not the people's host, a normal person. How's he taken David Feeder?
you got to.
Dave, and this is where the Titans showed a little bit of class. They found a way to get him 1-on-1, and where the Broncos haven't been able to do that. Good on David Feeder. Great game for him. Still kind of proving the narrative that he's a bit of a flat track bully. Like he plays very good against the weaker sides in the competition.
Yeah.
The Dragons, they're still sitting. I think what are they clinging on to 8th position? I think.
I'll let you know exactly the 8th.
I thought Jaden Sullivan had a solid game. I thought Ben Hunt was pretty good, but other than that, they just didn't have enough troops. If the Titans can string some wins together, they might be able to go on a run.
It's a bit similar to last year, you think?
Yeah. Well, they've got to go on a run. If they want to play semis, now's the time. They got to build on this win.
Yeah,
What are the Dragons coming 8th?
8th, yeah. Dragons are 8th, Titans are 10th now.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty even with those lower sides. I think it's like 2 points in it, isn't it?
Yeah, like from 7th to 13th, there's 2 wins in that.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how they go. But yeah, Titans is far too strong.
Yeah, like Dave Feeder, he did well. Like I think that he just needs to get himself involved more.
Yeah.
Like when they're getting out of their own end, go in, like take a hit up.
Okay.
But anyway,
what do you make of him coming off the bench? Are they resting him post Origin, or like Paul Green bring him off the bench as well? What's doing there? He's on what is he on? 1.2?
He's on big money. That's what I know.
Yeah, he can't be off the bench.
Yeah, no, he's got to be playing 80. But maybe they're trying to, get that fire back in him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, good point.
Pardon me.
Good point.
On to the last game of the round. We got the Sharks defeating the Bulldogs 44-24. Halftime looked like it was going to be another blowout for the Sharkies, 30 points to 6. But then halftime comes, and then I think like 5-6 minutes into the second half, the Bulldogs scored 2 tries, 30 points to 18, and then bit of back and forth from there, I guess.
I thought Luke Thompson was outstanding in this game.
Yeah, he played really well. I think his other forward partners let him down.
Yeah,
Dylan
and
Harper, especially.
they need to go with him. They need to get on the back of him
Mm,
because he's proven that if they get enough ball and the forwards go forward, they've got enough to score some points.
yeah,
You know what I mean, like Avarillo, thought played pretty good. Nick Meaney's going to be a big loss for them.
yeah.
I think he's a bit of point of difference that they won't have. But they've got players coming in. I don't know about Matt Duffy coming in, but they've got Matty Burton coming in, Josh Adokar. So that's a couple of good signings. I would have loved to see them sign Dale Finucane. So then they could have
Mm.
had Luke Thompson in the front row, Dale Finucane in the back row, and those two players are going to keep that forward pack very honest.
And
You know
Tavita,
what I mean? With Adam Elliott and Josh Jackson as well.
Tavita, mate.
That's a
Tavita,
yeah, Tavita.
Pango Junior.
Tavita Bengai Jr. Yeah, I forgot that he was coming. What are you talking about?
Tavita,
Yeah, so
mate.
Adam Elliott, Dale Finucane, Tavita Bengai Jr.,
Luke
Luke
Thompson,
Thompson,
Josh
Josh
Jackson.
Jackson. You could even throw Josh Jackson in the middle if you wanted to.
Mate,
And
and they need a hooker. Get Brandon Smith.
Brandon Smith,
Imagine
but
that.
they won't get Dale Finucane. But yes,
That'd be
that would have been a good
great.
four pack. Good effort from them, but just gave up too many points in the first half. The Sharks can't be drifting in and out of games. If they want to play semi-finals football, they should be putting that team to the sword.
Well, I think the loss of Sean Johnson was huge for them. I think
Yeah,
he's part of the reason they were up 36.
yeah.
But yeah,
How good's his decision making when they're on a roll? Like his ability to pick a pass is just second to none.
on the run too. But
Yeah.
Braden Trindle, he's shit. Uh, I don't know. They're very solid to him. I don't think he's a first rate player. He needs to get out of the team.
They got away with a call too, I reckon, when with the ricochet. Instead of a second tackle set, that was a 20-minute a dropout. So they got away with that one off Braden Trindle.
He's so shit.
Anyway, the Sharks are got to be better, but hopefully Johnson isn't out for the year. I think they're waiting on results there,
Yeah, well, for Dream Team hopes, I hope he's not injured.
and for his own personal well-being.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for today's show. Remember to enter the giveaway, leave a like, leave a comment, and thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to check out all our socials: Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Denny's got an OnlyFans, so check that one out. Denny, you want to plug your OnlyFans?
No.
What's the handle there? No, you don't.
No.
You keep that one secret.
Yeah, secret.
Oh, good on you, mate. Oh, we will see you Wednesday.